Seneca, considered one of the main exponents of Stoic philosophy in ancient Rome, served as an advisor and tutor to two Roman emperors, Claudius and Nero. His work inspired figures such as Thomas Aquinas, Arthur Schopenhauer, Howard Friedrich, and Marcus Aurelius. He is attributed with moral teachings about the importance of living in harmony with nature, facing adversity with courage, controlling one's passions, and cultivating wisdom. His name is Seneca, and these are his 10 supreme laws for life. Before we begin, please check your subscription to the channel, and don't forget to look down below at the pinned comment I left especially for you. Don't miss the chance to apply Stoic principles to deal with life's adversities. Grab the Stoic Mindset ebook now and discover how to cultivate serenity in the midst of chaos, make wiser decisions, and overcome adversity with mental strength. Click on the link in the first pinned comment and embark on your journey of wisdom. Chapter 1. The Value of Life. How often have we heard that life is short, but what does that really mean? Seneca tells us that it's not that we have little time, but rather that we waste a lot of it. This is where the essence of our time and our life lies. Think about it. How many moments do we squander worrying about things beyond our control? How many opportunities do we let slip by because we were too busy dwelling on the past or preoccupied with the future? According to Seneca, life is precious, and every moment counts. Each breath, each thought, each action we take gives us the opportunity to live fully. However, to do so, we need to recognize the value of each moment. We have to understand that it's not the quantity of time that matters, but how we use it. Life is not just about breathing, eating, working, sleeping, and repeating. No, life is much more than that. Life is an opportunity to grow, learn, love, experience, and above all, to contribute. But to achieve all this, it's necessary to live with purpose. A purpose provides us with direction, maintains our focus, and gives us reasons to wake up every morning. It helps us make decisions, prioritize actions, and live in a meaningful and satisfying way. So remember, our life is brief and valuable, and every moment matters. Don't let a second slip away. Don't waste time worrying about things beyond your control. Instead, live each day with purpose, give your best in everything you do, and seize every opportunity to grow and learn. After all, as Seneca said, it's not that we have little time, but rather that we waste a lot. So make sure you're using your time in the best way possible, because that, my friends, is truly valuing life. Chapter 2. Philosophy as a guide for Seneca. Philosophy was much more than a mere mental exercise or an intellectual game. To him, philosophy was a compass, a map for life. It was about understanding who we are, what we are, and how we should live. We can think of philosophy as the GPS of life. Just as we use a GPS to navigate through unfamiliar roads, philosophy helps us navigate the sometimes stormy seas of life. It assists us in deciding which path to take when we come to a crossroads, determining the direction to follow when we are lost, and staying on the right path when things become difficult. For Seneca, philosophy wasn't something to be confined to books and discussed only in classrooms or academic debates. It was something to be lived in every moment, in every decision and action. Whether we are deciding on a career, how to treat others, how to deal with failure, or how to celebrate success, philosophy provides us with the tools to make these decisions in the wisest and most beneficial way. So the next time you face a challenge, don't just wonder what to do. Ask yourself what philosophy teaches about handling the situation. The next time you make a decision, don't take it lightly. Consider what philosophy has to say about your options. Philosophy, as Seneca saw it, is more than a study. It's a guide for life, a compass to navigate the challenges of existence. It's not about having definitive answers, but about asking the right questions. Therefore, no matter what life brings, you can always turn to philosophy to orient and guide yourself. Philosophy may not have all the answers, but it can help you formulate the right questions and seek the truth within yourself. So, live your philosophy, don't just study it. Because, as Seneca said, philosophy is a way of life. Chapter 3. Detachment from material goods. We live in a society that often associates material wealth with happiness. We are constantly told that if only we had that new car, a bigger house, or the latest gadget, then we would be happy. However, Seneca offers a different perspective. Despite being a man of great wealth, he emphasized the importance of not relying on material possessions for our happiness. For Seneca, true wealth is not found in our wallets or bank accounts, but within ourselves. It lies in our ability to be content with what we have, in our capacity to enjoy the simple things in life, and in our ability to live a life of virtue and purpose. Imagine for a moment that all material things in your life disappear. Cars, houses, phones, money, everything. What remains? You would still have your character, integrity, the ability to love and be loved, experiences, memories, wisdom. These are the true riches of life. There's nothing wrong with enjoying material things, but we shouldn't allow these things to define us or determine our happiness. True happiness is not in what we possess, but in who we are. Just like Seneca, I encourage everyone not to rely on material wealth to find happiness. Appreciate the simple things in life, the warmth of the sun on your face, the scent of fresh rain, the sound of a loved one's laughter. Value your experiences, memories, and wisdom. These are the real riches of life. Remember, it's not what you have, but how you use what you have that defines your true wealth. Live with purpose, live with virtue, and you will discover that you are already richer than you ever imagined. Chapter 4. Virtue as the highest good. What truly gives value to our lives? Is it the money in our bank account, our social status, our material possessions? For Seneca, the answer to all these questions is a resounding no. To him, an individual's true worth is not in what they possess or their social standing, but in their character and virtuous actions. Virtue, according to Seneca, is the highest good and the key to a happy life. No matter how much money we have, how famous we are, or how successful we consider ourselves, if we lack virtue, we cannot truly be happy. But what does it mean to live a life of virtue? It's not just about following a set of rules or obeying a code of conduct. Living a virtuous life means constantly striving to be the best version of ourselves. It means treating others with kindness and respect, seeking truth in all our actions, and making decisions based on what is right and just, not what is easy or convenient. Virtue is not something that can be bought or sold, and it cannot be measured in monetary terms. Virtue is something that is developed and cultivated through our daily actions and choices. It is a reflection of who we are as individuals and how we live our lives. So remember, true happiness is not found in the things we possess, but in the virtue we cultivate in our hearts and minds. It's not about how much we have, but how we live. Seneca reminded us that virtue is the highest good and the key to a happy life. And though it may be a challenging path to walk, it's a path worth taking, because at the end of the day, it's not what we have, but who we are that truly matters. Live a life of virtue, seek truth, be just and kind, and you will discover that true happiness is within your reach. Chapter 5. Self-Control. We live in a world filled with temptations and distractions. We face a constant barrage of emotions and desires that can lead us down paths that are not always beneficial for us. Seneca teaches us that to live a truly free and peaceful life, we must learn to control these emotions and desires, rather than being controlled by them. He encourages us not to reject our emotions and desires, but to understand and manage them. It's not about suppressing what we feel, but about being able to respond to our emotions in a healthy and constructive way. Imagine for a moment that your emotions and desires are like a wild horse. You can't simply allow that horse to run freely, as it could lead you to dangerous places. However, you also can't just tie it up and expect it to stay still. You need to learn how to ride it, to direct it where you want to go. By learning to control our emotions and desires, we find inner peace and personal freedom that were previously unattainable. We cease to be slaves to our impulses and begin to live in accordance with our deepest values and principles. Therefore, I encourage everyone to practice self-control. Don't allow your emotions and desires to control you. Instead, learn to control and use them for your benefit. This is true freedom, true peace, as Seneca reminded us, essential for living a full and meaningful life. Instead of being carried away by the current of your emotions and desires, learn to swim against it. And instead of being slaves to your impulses, become their masters. Chapter 6. The Value of Time. It's easy to forget the value of time. We live in an age of constant distractions, where it's easy to lose hours, days, and even years in activities that don't add anything to our lives. However, Seneca reminds us that time is the most valuable resource we possess. Once spent, it cannot be recovered, so we should use it wisely and not allow it to be wasted. And how can we use our time wisely? Seneca would advise us to focus on what truly matters. Instead of wasting our time on empty distractions, we should direct it toward activities that enrich us, help us grow as individuals, and bring us closer to our goals and dreams. This can mean different things to different people. For some, it might be spending time with loved ones, while for others, it could mean dedicating time to learn something new, improve a skill, or engage in a passion project. The important thing is to use our time in a way that brings value and satisfaction. However, using our time wisely doesn't just mean doing things that add value to our lives, but also protecting our time from those who would try to waste it. This may involve learning to say no to requests and demands that don't align with our priorities, or it may mean minimizing distractions to focus on what's important. So let's remember the wise words of Seneca. Time is our most valuable resource. Let's not allow it to be wasted. Let's use every moment wisely, focused on what truly matters. So when you wake up each morning, ask yourself, how can I make the best use of my time today? What can I do today that will bring me fulfillment and happiness? Remember, every passing minute is a minute that won't come back. Make sure each one counts. Chapter 7. Adversity as Opportunity. No one likes to face adversity. Challenges and difficulties can be tough, discouraging, and even frightening. However, Seneca tells us that adversity is not something we should fear or avoid. Instead, we should see it as an opportunity, a chance to learn, grow, and strengthen ourselves. It may seem like a strange concept. How can adversity, something we associate with pain and difficulty, be a source of growth? But consider it this way. A muscle needs to be stressed, challenged to grow. Similarly, our minds and spirits need to be challenged to become stronger and grow. Challenges force us out of our comfort zone, confront our weaknesses, and overcome our limitations. They help us develop resilience, perseverance, and empathy, teach us to be humble, to value what we have, and appreciate life's small victories. Moreover, adversity not only strengthens us, but also imparts wisdom. Challenges teach us valuable lessons about ourselves, others, and life. They teach us patience, how to handle adversity, confront our fears, and overcome obstacles. They teach us that not everything in life is easy, but that everything in life is possible. So the next time you face adversity, don't despair. Don't view adversity as an enemy, but as a teacher who will instruct, challenge, and help you grow. Remember the words of Seneca. Adversity can be an opportunity to learn and grow. Through challenges and difficulties, we can become stronger and gain wisdom. Therefore, face your challenges with courage, learn from your mistakes, and always seek growth in every situation. Chapter 8. Acceptance of Death. Death is something all of us will face at some point, no matter who we are, where we come from, or what we do. Death is an inevitable reality. However, Seneca teaches us that we should not fear it, but instead accept it as a natural and necessary part of life. Confronting the idea of our own mortality can be an overwhelming experience. However, Seneca argues that by acknowledging the inevitability of death, we can learn to value life more. When we realize that our existence in this world is temporary, each moment becomes more precious, each experience more meaningful. For Seneca, death is not the end of life, but a part of it. Just as spring becomes summer, summer becomes autumn, and autumn becomes winter, in the same way, life transitions into death. It's simply the next step in our journey, the next phase of our existence. And how can we deal with death? Seneca tells us that we should live each day as if it were our last, not in a fatalistic way, but by appreciating every moment, every opportunity. By living fully, by giving our best, we can face death with a sense of peace and acceptance. So let's remember the words of Seneca. Death is inevitable, but we should not fear it. Instead, we should accept it as a natural part of life. Let's live each day with purpose and appreciation, and face death not with fear, but with acceptance. Let's live each day as if it were the last, not allowing the fear of death to prevent us from living. Let's embrace death as part of life and live each moment to the fullest. Chapter 9. Tranquility of the Soul. Imagine for a moment that you are on the edge of a tranquil lake. The water is crystal clear and the air is fresh. In this state you feel at peace, serene, and in harmony with nature. This is the essence of what Seneca refers to as the tranquility of the soul. It is an inner state of serenity, a peace that arises from living in harmony with both the external and our own nature. For Seneca, living in harmony with nature doesn't just mean respecting the natural world around us, but also living in accordance with our own natures. It involves listening to our inner voices and following our own paths. It means accepting and embracing who we are, with all our strengths and weaknesses. How can we live in harmony with our own nature? Seneca suggests that we should strive to cultivate virtue and wisdom through reflection and self-knowledge. We should try to understand our desires and emotions and learn to control them, rather than being controlled by them. By living in this way, in harmony with nature and ourselves, we can achieve a state of inner serenity and peace. We can find a refuge within ourselves, a place of tranquility where we can withdraw and find solace, no matter what is happening around us. So let's remember the wise words of Seneca. The tranquility of the soul is not something that can be bought or conquered, but rather a state of being that arises from living in harmony with nature and our own nature. It is a worthy goal to pursue and a gift that only we can give to ourselves. Therefore, I encourage you to seek your own tranquility of the soul, to live in harmony with nature, and to cultivate virtue and wisdom. Chapter 10. The Value of Friendship. Friendship is not a mere superficial exchange or a convenient relationship. For Seneca, friendship is a bond of mutual affection, a deep and meaningful connection based on respect, trust, and reciprocity. Friendship is an invaluable gem that should be cherished and nurtured. However, friendship is not just about having company or having fun. Seneca believed that meaningful relationships with other people are essential for a good and happy life. Our friends not only offer us support and solace in difficult times, but also share our joys, challenge us, motivate us, and help us grow. Friendship plays a crucial role in our personal growth. Our friends can help us see things from different perspectives, challenge us to step out of our comfort zone and face our fears, as well as teach us valuable lessons and aid in the development of our empathy, understanding, and love for others. According to Seneca, friendship is not just something pleasant, but an essential component of a happy life. Without friends, our lives may lack the emotional richness and personal growth that meaningful relationships can provide. Therefore, let's value our friendships, taking care of them with attention and care. Remember Seneca's words and appreciate the treasure that is friendship, as significant relationships with others not only enrich our lives, but also help us grow and learn. So appreciate your friends, value their company and learn from them. Thus we conclude our journey today, through the wisdom of Seneca. Comment, Dare Me Motivational. So I can see that you've made it this far. And also please comment on which other Stoic philosophers you'd like us to explore on this channel. May everyone be with the Creator,